Great radio stations across the land, iHeartRadio, Newsmax TV. It is the Joe Pag Show for a Friday. Glad to have you here. I'm also glad to have Scarlett. Scarlett, say your last name so I don't screw it up, please.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's Fakhar.
Okay, Scarlett Fakhar, who was a reporter/anchor at Channel 26, the Fox affiliate in Houston, Texas, until yesterday, and then you were unceremoniously let go. And that came out of the blue. You were stunned by it. And you and I have been talking a little bit. Somebody sent me your Facebook page. I took a look at it. And if I'm reading it right, and please, I want you to tell the whole story. If I'm reading it right, you dared go on your personal Facebook that most people can't see. I couldn't see it until you reshared it after you were fired. But you went on there and dared say that you were happy about the results of the election. Please fill me in.
Yeah, Joe, let's be clear. It was on my private Facebook page. I have a separate page from all of my fan stuff on Facebook, Twitter, everything else.
Right.
So this was a post that I posted to my private page. It was the day after the election. And not even 24 hours later, someone, quote unquote, one of my friends, decided to screenshot that post and send it to different news outlets, which in turn posted negative comments about me in their articles. And then it kind of blew up a little bit from there. I mean, my station felt that it blew up to a point where they could no longer have me work for them. Okay,
so how does it go down? This thing posts, and somebody that you thought was a friend of yours clearly wasn't. They sent it to news organizations, alleged news organizations, and did they send it directly to KRIV? Did they send it to your management there or to newspapers, and they got wind of it that way?
They just sent it directly to the newspapers, so that's how my management got wind of it.
All right, and if you can, and we'll possibly put some of this up on the screen, you're basically saying it's the morning after the election and people want to know how I feel, and then tell my listeners and viewers what you said.
Basically, I just said that I was extremely happy about Donald Trump winning the election. I didn't mention, his specific name, but obviously I was implying that I was happy at the results of the election in general. So I just went on a couple of different issues that, are important to me, were important to me when I walked into that voting booth.
Yeah.
And I made sure, again, that no coworkers were able to see this post. It wasn't like the friends that I had on my page that were my coworkers were able to see it. You're able to change settings like that.
Yeah.
Just something that I wanted to share with friends because everyone was posting something, including other journalists that I know, on the election. And, I just went into a couple topics. You guys see it there. I'm not sure, but it's also on my Scarlett Fakhar Facebook page. I'm not afraid to repost it.
Yeah.
I've reposted it. Just to be clear, the newspaper outlets and the different outlets, media outlets that decided to repost it only posted the very first few paragraphs. They decided to just, I guess, that the rest of it wasn't important.
Now, in your job, of course, and again, it's Scarlett Fakhar. She was fired unceremoniously yesterday from the Fox affiliate in Houston, Texas. And it's clear to me you were fired because you supported the eventual winner. Privately, you didn't go on your fan page. You didn't do this on the air. You weren't reporting. In any of the reporting that I've seen or any of the postings that you had on your fan page, you did not pull for one candidate over the other ever, as far as I can tell. In your actual job, did you ever, as a reporter or an anchor on that TV station, take a side?
Absolutely not. Not just on this TV station, throughout my entire career as a journalist. I mean, I posted this as an individual. I didn't post it as a journalist. And anyone can look at any of the work that I've done. And I'm sure if they are scrutinizing over any of my work, they'll see, well, you know what? Her Twitter is very even. Her Instagram is very even.
Yeah.
All the stories that she's, produced and written are very even. So I don't see how this kind of all played out.
Well, okay, so the posting continues. You're happy. You're feeling good. You're feeling like there's a bright future in America. By the way, you're the daughter of an immigrant. We'll get into that in a little while because the allegation is that you take Donald Trump's side and you're anti-immigrant and you're something phobic and something ist and all that clearly is not true. I just know you a couple of days. I know that's not true. But you continued in your posting about this president, the current president, President Obama, and his administration, and the fact that we're more divided now over the past 8 years than we have been in a long time, and maybe, just maybe, we can come back together with a new administration.
Yes, that's exactly what I posted.
But that's the reason why. That's the reason why the TV station says they fired you. They said it has nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact that what did they say, that you were condemning, or you were negative about the president and about black people somehow?
No, my station didn't say anything along those lines to me. I'm not aware of what they've said at this point in time to any other news outlet. But to me, when I was sitting in that office and they told me that they were terminating my contract, it was on the basis that I violated a policy in our employee handbook regarding social media.
And what was that policy?
Have
you looked at the policy? Is there really one? And what does it say?
The policy just says anything that basically sheds negative light on our station that is posted on social media, can be used against you. And so apparently my happiness in the election was negative light on my private page.
And again, this wasn't the fan page. This was a private page that only the people that you select to see it can see it. And I read through it because you've now reposted it publicly to where we can read it. There's nothing about Channel 26. There's nothing about Fox 26 or KRIV or the management. So how exactly did you shine them in a negative light?
I mean, at this point in time, I just feel that they have misconstrued this whole situation and wrongfully terminated me. I mean, I don't feel I have not done anything that other journalists who believe the opposite of me have done, and that's on news on the actual news station channel. I mean, there have been things that we've aired that have been extremely biased, in my opinion, and no one was fired for any of that, yet alone I go on my personal Facebook page and post a post, which things that I believe are factual, and it is my, opinion, but I'm fired for it.
There was a report. Scarlett Fakhar. She's a reporter / anchor who's going to find work very quickly because obviously you do a very good job. You're in a very large market, and unduly fired, in my opinion, and I'm allowed to have an opinion. When I read through what the media was posting about this, KRIV, Fox 26, does say the reason why they did that is because somehow you were negative about African Americans and about the president. That seems to be what they want to relay to the public so that the outcry won't be on your side, it'll be on their side. Do you think they're making that? I read what you wrote, and what you wrote was factual about the division in the country because of the president. You didn't say it was because he's black. You just said we're divided. And then you talked about how crime is covered when depending on who is involved in the crimes. And then you went on about how beautiful America is and I'm the daughter of an immigrant and so on and so forth. Do you think they're using that as a scapegoat, thinking that will shut you up?
Yes, everyone is using that as a scapegoat right now. The Houston Chronicle posted something similar saying I chastised African Americans. And when they posted that, I reposted it with my post saying, look at what they said. And you go back to that article now, they have rephrased that exact sentence. But Fox 26 Houston is trying to use the same exact thing against me. And I simply won't stand for it because, Joe, I am so far from being anything close to a racist. It's not even funny. I can't believe that I'm in the spotlight for people saying that I could be such a person that I simply am not and have never showed or portrayed ever.
Scarlett, let me ask you this. Had you made similar comments, well, not similar, but the opposite comments because Hillary Clinton lost? I'm sad today. I can't get out of bed. My head hurts. I was up all night crying. I'm so sad that Hillary Clinton won. Do you think you would be in this predicament?
Absolutely not. I don't think that because remember, the initial reports were from liberal media. Yeah. These initial reports that said Scarlett Fakhar is under fire. Wait a second. You guys are saying I'm under fire. You're the first people to report on it. How am I under fire? Yeah. Now I am. Thanks, guys. They were the first ones to report this. And so, now it's blown up into this huge thing. And I just feel like it's completely unfair to me. And I'm now in this predicament of not having a job with my new station because they have wrongfully accused me of something and saying things when I'm not even afraid to repost them because I know that they are not racist in any way and they're not untrue.
We talked about you being the daughter of an immigrant. Your dad came from Iran, right?
Yes.
And your dad being an immigrant and enjoying the American dream and then, having a daughter who's out there succeeding her face off and living the American dream. I mean, you basically are what America is. Do you think that there's an assumption because you don't look like you're somebody from who's a descendant of somebody from the Middle East? Do you think that if you looked maybe a little bit more ethnic, that maybe this might not be happening? Do you think that plays into it, Scarlett?
I think it could be a possibility. I think that a lot of times people judge based off of looks.
Yeah.
And, I've been continuously told, white girl this, white girl that.
Right.
And no one even realizes that my dad is from Iran, and my last name is Fakhar. So I absolutely do think that could have something to do with it. But I do, again, just think that the biggest part that was played in all of this was the very first part of my post, that the media didn't even report on the second part. I don't know why.
Well, I know why. I think that the two of us sitting here know why, because it's not a story if they include the entire thing in context. Scarlett, I've read through some of the people who've stopped by your fan page, which is blowing up, and make sure you look her up on Facebook. Are you on Twitter too?
Yeah, Scarlett on TV is my Twitter handle.
Okay, so go and find her on Facebook and on Twitter. Go and follow her and follow on this story. But it's interesting because most people are fully in support of you and think it's completely unfair. There are some people, however, who are attacking you and take what the media said hook, line, and sinker. How do you deal with that psychologically, knowing that A, you're out of a job because you had an opinion and because you reacted to the presidency, the presidential election in your country, and B, although you've got all this support, some people are buying the garbage that's being spewed about you?
Well, I think you have to look at it as being bullied. I think that all of these people that are calling me names, telling me that I'm racist, telling me all of these things that are completely untrue based off the post, and I do encourage everyone to go look at the post. I'm not hiding them from anybody. Right. I'm handling it as a person that has to stand up for what they believe in, because I think I work in an industry where the majority of media stations are liberal, and I think it's fair to say that. The majority of people that I've worked with at all of my stations have been liberal. And, I think at this point in time, after I posted what I did, it's just clear as day that had it been on the other side, it wouldn't have gained all this media traction from the liberal media. My station wouldn't have felt the need to fire me. And I guess that's that.
Well, what you said is perfectly true, because CNN, we know, colluded with the DNC and with political action committees and with Hillary Clinton, and they're still CNN. And you've got the New Yorker, who put a headline out there in a front page cover that said "loser" over Donald Trump's face because they thought that he was going to lose. The left media in this country, as you just kind of said, but I'm going to be more direct about it, the left media in this country is allowed to pull for their favorite. You didn't even pull for the favorite. You waited till after the election, woke up and said it's a good day in America. I am stunned that you were the victim of this kind of bullying. I'm stunned that they fired you. The work that I've seen you do, and I was a television news anchor for 14 years, and I've won a bunch of awards. The work I've seen you do is excellent. So I think that you're going to find a job rather quickly. The last stunning part of this, though, that I want the people watching and listening to know, is that this is a Fox O&O. It's owned and operated by Fox. Is there any avenue for you going through the mothership, going to the actual company saying, hey, look, this is what happened to me? Is there any recourse that way? Are you talking to a lawyer, or are you just going to ride this out and see what happens?
My hope would be that Fox does catch on to it. They're not very easy to get a hold of by any means. But I have, and, hope for some outlet. As you said, I've been doing this for, my whole life. This is what I've wanted to do my whole life since I was a little girl. And I do personally feel that I'm very good at what I do. Yeah. And I do think that there is a spot somewhere for me in the media world. I just don't know where that is yet. But, I would hope Fox could be an avenue, because I do want you to know, Joe, that there are other Fox employees, even in the local media market, that have done the same thing as me. But perhaps their bosses at the top of that place didn't disagree with their employees' opinion. Didn't feel like they needed to fire them. So I'm hoping that, whether it's at Fox or some other media outlet, that I do find a place with people that are okay with, me having said something on my personal page, but with my unbiased reporting as well. Oh,
absolutely. Listen, I wish you nothing but the best. I appreciate you stopping by. We'll get word to as many people as we possibly can. We're starting that boat right here, right now on the Joe Pag Show. Scarlett, thanks a lot. Let's stay in contact.
Thank you, Joe.
We're back after this on the Joe Pag Show. Stay right here.